Jungkook deeply regretted in an entirely unexpected moment. Jungkook, the figure long known as BTS's Golden Magne, made Park Jimin cry with just one simple yet deeply striking sentence. "I'm not gold. I became this way because of you." Behind the calmness of the military barracks, without the spotlight or audience applause, that night's atmosphere became silent witness to profound emotional wounds. What exactly happened between these two central pillars of BTS? Questions began to arise. How could a single sentence shatter Jimin's steadfastness, the one who had always been a source of strength? And why would Jungkook, seemingly unshaken by the pressures of the entertainment world, utter words that sounded like a farewell? The closeness of Jungkook and Jimin is nothing new to ARMY. They are not merely co-workers in the K-pop industry. They grew up together, shared ups and downs, and now serve their mandatory military duty side by side in Division 5. When news spread that they were stationed together, many ARMY felt relieved. At least, they still had each other to face the harsh military days. But behind that comfort, a seed of farewell had quietly taken root. That night, without ceremony, Jungkook took a small acoustic guitar from his locker. He sang a song that was never officially released, not a solo project, but a raw outpouring of the heart. The lyrics pierced deeply. "If my night loses your whispers, can I still walk tomorrow?" When the last note faded, silence took over. Jungkook looked at Jimin and said softly, "Thank you for coming back to a place like this. But if I could choose, I would rather remain a soldier with you forever than return to a world without you." Jimin could not reply. He only cried, not merely out of sadness, but from fully understanding the weight behind those words. On that same night, several other soldiers and even officers present couldn't hold back their tears either. An accidental audio recording made by a fellow soldier quickly spread within the ARMY community, turning the entire fandom's mood from full of spirit into a sea of grief. Now, the public wonders, what is it that Jungkook truly regrets? In the circulated audio clip, the emotional strain he felt was clearly audible. Internal sources mentioned that before enlisting, Jungkook had declined several international collaboration offers. He also turned down interviews and gradually stepped back from the spotlight. Was this a sign that he was considering withdrawing from the entertainment world? Some fans began connecting the incident to lyrics from his solo song, May You, which said, "All this light is colored because of you. I'll be fine as long as you remain my light." For many ARMY, these lyrics now feel far more personal and heavier than ever. 2 days after the incident, Jimin posted a handwritten letter on Weverse that moved fans worldwide. That night, I wasn't Park Jimin the soldier. I was just Park Jimin who had lost his way. Jungkook is the reason I wake up every morning. If one day he walks farther than me, please stay with him for me. The letter went viral, sparking massive waves of emotion from Brazil to Japan to Indonesia. Kim Hyunjun, a Korean music critic, emphasized the public's anxiety. Jungkook is a perfectionist and extremely sensitive. If he feels he can no longer show his best self, he would rather step back than maintain a mirror image. Additionally, reports from the industry said Bang Si-hyuk, the founder of HYB, secretly visited Division 5 just 2 days after the emotional incident. The closed-door meeting lasting 2 hours was never publicly announced, fueling speculation that major decisions regarding Jungkook's future in the entertainment industry were being discussed. Amidst this turmoil, ARMY is divided between hope and anxiety. Some remain optimistic, believing this is only a fleeting emotional release, but many are preparing for the bitter possibility that Jungkook might not return to entertainment in the same way as before. Critical questions begin to echo. How true is this story? The main sources of this narrative come from unofficial audio clips, a handwritten letter without agency clarification, and social media reports. There has been no official confirmation from HYB to this day. In a digital era, where narratives can be formed and strengthened through virality, caution becomes an urgent necessity. It is. No secret that the K-pop industry is highly skilled at managing fan emotions, in a world where engagement is the main currency. It is not impossible for an emotional moment to be part of a strategy to maintain relevance during a mandatory military hiatus. Nonetheless, this skepticism should not diminish the pure emotional value of the event. Whether it was 100% genuine or partially colored by strategy, the fact that millions of ARMY feel the same wound shows just how deep the emotional bond between BTS and their fans is. Now, the public and ARMY around the world hold their breath, awaiting clarity. Is this the sign of an ending chapter for BTS, or the beginning of a quieter but more honest journey? Time will tell. One thing is certain. That night left behind a hug, a song, and tears that have yet to fully dry. And in the silence of waiting, one fundamental question begins to echo in the minds of fans and industry observers alike. Are we witnessing pure emotional honesty? Or is this part of a grand narrative more cleverly constructed than we realize? In the lingering silence after the emotional moment between Jungkook and Jimin, we face a fundamental question that cannot be ignored. Is this entire narrative absolute truth, or part of a crafted story aimed at attracting public attention during BTS's hiatus? Considering that the information shaping this news mostly comes from social media such as TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and various other online platforms, essentially open sources. Without strict journalistic verification standards, we must ask, to what extent can we trust the story that has stirred this global emotional wave? Did a tearful dialogue truly happen between Jungkook and Jimin that night at the military barracks? Is Jimin's handwritten letter on Weverse authentic, or merely a visual fabrication targeting mass sympathy? And more importantly, why has HYB, BTS's official agency, remained silent, neither confirming nor denying the event that has shaken their international fanbase? When we consume emotional news without verification, we open the door to the vast possibility of public opinion manipulation. Isn't it time to ask, are we truly seeing the truth, or only fragments of a story polished to match our emotional expectations? In this context, skepticism is not cynicism, but a necessary intellectual defense. Why are we so quick to believe narratives that align with what we want to hear? Is it because we miss our idols so much that we are willing to believe anything that emotionally connects us to them without questioning its validity? Let's remember that the entertainment industry, especially K-pop, has a long history of managing public opinion through calculated emotional narratives. Isn't it possible that amid BTS's absence from the entertainment world due to military service, an emotional story like this becomes a tool to maintain fans' emotional engagement? Are we truly witnessing a moment of emotional honesty, or are we part of a high-level marketing strategy exploiting fans' psychological vulnerability? Deep reflection is necessary amidst this information storm. Should we trust every anonymous audio recording that spreads without verification? Should we fully believe a handwritten letter never confirmed by official authorities? Aren't we responsible for questioning, not out of blind suspicion, but to maintain intellectual integrity in an era flooded with information? Why was Bang Si-hyuk rumored to visit Division 5 without any official release or public statement? Is it possible that the visit, if it indeed happened, was unrelated to personal emotional issues but rather internal management matters? Why did speculation so quickly get accepted as fact? In an era where virality has become the new standard of validation, we need to ask, are our emotions being controlled by narratives deliberately developed? Furthermore, we must ask, as fans, are we responsible for balancing love and critical thinking? Does loyalty to idols mean abandoning the principles of critical thought? Or rather, by thinking critically, are we showing the most mature form of love toward them? We invite all of you, readers, ARMY, and anyone following the story, to not stop at emotional responses alone. Try asking deep questions with every narrative you consume. Who is the source of this information? Is there verifiable concrete evidence? Why did this information emerge now? Who might benefit from the virality of this news? Are there similar patterns in K-pop industry history? Questioning does not mean hating. Doubting does not mean betraying. Critical thinking is the highest form of respect toward oneself and the truth. Events like this, whether true or not, should be a reflective moment about how we, as a global society, consume, process, and respond to information. Do we choose to be passive consumers who merely follow emotional currents, or thinking individuals who dare to question and seek the truth behind every story before we accept or reject this entire narrative? Let's first ask ourselves, are we ready to face the reality if one day the truth turns out not to match our hopes? Or more extremely, would we rather embrace a comforting lie than a painful truth? Amidst this uncertainty, one thing remains certain. Critical thinking is our last shield in safeguarding the integrity of information. Let us not allow our love for idols to dull our intellect.